In this video, I am ranking all the takeovers in both current and next gen. But first, if you're looking for somebody to grind your badges, hit up Elite Badge Grinding. They're super fast and 100% legit. Click their links in the description and let them know Hambo sent you. Also, if you could do me a quick favor, scroll down and smash that big red subscribe button. We're trying to hit 10k subs by the end of the year, so it'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, let's start things off with the next gen takeovers. There are in total 24 takes, and I decided to put them in a tier list. And boom, for our F tier, we have glass cleaning dimes, post playmaking, and advanced gathers. Let's start with glass cleaning dimes. Overall, this badge is pretty much useless. It only activates when you get a rebound and then pass to a shooter, which is like almost never, so it'll just never activate, and it gives like no boost at all. For post playmaking, it's pretty much just the same thing, but whenever you're posting up and then pass. For glass cleaning dimes and post playmaking, the situations are just so specific, it'll just never activate. Next, for advanced gatherers, overall Euro stabs, hop stabs, and all those other advanced moves aren't really super overpowered this year or anything. And I really don't understand why you would go with advanced gatherers if you could go with any other finishing takeover. For the D tier takeovers, we have interior badge drop, power backdowns, boxed out wall, and enhanced jump shot contests. Interior badge drop is actually an okay takeover, but just with the current meta of the game, very few people are just spamming inside shots. And also, even if you do drop their finishing badges down a couple of ratings, it's not going to make a difference. Now for power backdowns, this can actually be a very overpowered takeover. But since there are just so many better options for post takeover, I just wouldn't recommend going with it. For box out wall, I don't understand why you need this. Just throw box on silver and you'll never get wormed by. For enhanced jump shot contest, this can actually be somewhat useful. It's kind of just like a platinum intimidator. But from my experience with this badge, it really doesn't make that big of a difference. For C tier, we have advanced post moves, perimeter badge drop, paint intimidator, team rating boost, and team badge boost. For advanced post moves is actually kind of overpowered. If you do a drop step like 9 times out of 10, your defender will just get flung out of the way. Perimeter badge drop is kind of just the same thing as enhanced jump shot contests, but overall it just has a greater impact since it drops all of their shooting badges down 1 rating. For paint intimidator, in my opinion, this is actually a pretty decent badge if you're guarding a post scorer that just post hooks the whole time. This way you will get a pretty decent amount of contest on their post hooks. For team rating boost and team badge boost, they're pretty much just the same thing, but I guess a little bit different. One of them boosts ratings and the other one boosts badges. I've had the most success with ratings boost, but they're pretty much just the exact same thing. For B tier takeovers, I first have pull precision, then negative impact, then easy blow-bys, then post shot daggers. Pull up precision is a very OP takeover if you do fade pretty much every other possession. If you are a shot creator that does actually shot create, then definitely throw this on. Negative impact is overall just a really fun takeover since you can kind of just green fades in people's eye as if they're not even there. Easy blow-bys can be very overpowered and very cheesy. It pretty much makes it so if you just hold turbo and run straight, you'll be able to get past the defender. But the only reason it's not A or S tier is because you can still get stuffed at the rim. Post shot daggers is in B tier. In my opinion, if you do need a post scoring takeover, definitely throw this on. Pretty much you can just do post hook after post hook after post hook, and they'll go in pretty much every single time and your defender won't get a contest. On to our A tier badges. First, we have extreme clamps, ankle breaking shots, stuff blocks, finishing moves, and spot up precision. Extreme clamps is a very good takeover that lets you bump opponents really easily. In my opinion, it's the best defensive takeover since bumping a guard is pretty much the best way to guard them. Onto ankle breaking shots. This is in my opinion the most fun takeover out of all of them. It's not super duper practical, but you can get a ton of ankle breakers with this takeover. And also, I'm pretty sure it does boost dribbling ankle breakers. Next is going to be stuff blocks. This pretty much gives you way more blocks and is really overpowered and really scary to go against. Whenever your opponent does have stuff blocks enabled and you go up on them, there is a high chance that you will get snatched. Next, for finishing moves. Now, this takeover is kind of broken. Pretty much it just boosts the amount of contact dunks that you can get. With this takeover, you can honestly get a contact dunk every single possession. The only reason it's not an S tier is because it's not a super duper practical takeover, since in most comp games, they'll actually give you the 2 majority of possessions. On to spot up precision. This pretty much just boosts any well-timed shots that you do take. Spot precision should definitely be an S tier, but since there is a better sharpshooting takeover, I just couldn't put it there. On to S tier, we're starting things off with the best takeover in this game, and that is limitless range. Last year, this takeover was useless, but this year it's broken. Honestly, with this takeover equipped, you're better off shooting from a few steps out from the 3-point line than taking a mid-range, since this takeover is just so overpowered. Next, on to see the future. This is the best big man takeover by far. It's really easy to activate, it helps you get a ton of rebounds, and it literally tells you where the ball is going. And also, if you do have really good chemistry with your teammates, you can even call out where the ball is going so they know to go over there. Next, for team takeover boost, this is a very controversial takeover, but this is probably the most underrated takeover in my opinion. Nobody uses this takeover, but pretty much everybody will once they see how overpowered this is. If your guard does unlock this as its primary takeover and he does activate it, then pretty much anytime somebody else does something good, it'll boost their takeover a ton. I've seen people get team takeover in 1 block or 1 shot just because this takeover is so overpowered. This badge is really good for all game modes, but especially for Pro-Am and Rec Center when your entire team can get takeover off of one person pretty much just getting their primary takeover. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the next gen takeovers, and we're going to start things off with the current gen takeovers. First on this list is going to be the shot creating takeover. This is not worth equipping unless your playstyle really does revolve around shot creating. Overall though, all of the takeovers in current gen are very good and very balanced. There's not a single very OP takeover or a single very bad takeover. All of them are just really good. Next is going to be Rim Protector Takeover. I wouldn't really recommend equipping this unless that's kind of the whole point of your build. If not, you should probably just go with Glass Cleaning since it's just way better and way easier to activate. However, if you are just trying to have fun, maybe consider throwing this on. Next is going to be the Post Scoring Takeover. Obviously, this really does just depend on your playstyle. If you're a post scorer, equip this. If you're not a post scorer, then don't equip this. It's not quite as OP as previous years where you could just drop step everybody, but it's still definitely very good. Moving on to the 4th takeover on this list is going to be slashing. This isn't as good as it was last year, but it's definitely still very broken. You can get a contact dunk very often. The only reason it's not higher is because it's not as automatic as it was last year. The next takeover on this list is going to be Playmaking Takeover. This is a very fun takeover. You can get a ton of ankle breakers, and dimes on this build are so fun. Overall, if you are just going to play Park and you want to get ankle breakers, definitely equip this. But for comp and stuff, I can't really see that many people using it. On to the top 3 takeovers. Starting off, the top 3 is going to be the Glass Cleaning Takeover. I think the biggest appeal of this takeover for me is that it's just really easy to activate, helps you get a ton of rebounds, and just like See the Future, it tells you where the ball is gonna go. For the second best takeover in this game, we're gonna go with Sharpshooting Takeover. Last year, this was easily the best takeover in the game without a doubt. It's not as OP as last year, but it's definitely still very good. The reason why it's not as OP as last year is because you can still shoot with a low 3-pointer. This pretty much means that any additional boost that you do get won't actually help you out that much, since your 3-point rating really doesn't matter this year. However, it is still a top 2 takeover in this game because most guards should be equipping this. On to the last takeover on this list is going to be the Lockdown Takeover. This takeover helps you get a ton of bumps and additionally allows you to get a ton of steals and bump steals. Overall, it's just really annoying and really scary to play against. Additionally, a lot of builds in this game can unlock Lockdown Takeover, which is just really cool to see. And with that being said, that is gonna wrap it up for the video. If you found the video helpful, scroll down, drop me a like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you can be notified next time I'm dropping some more gems on y'all. Click one of the videos on the screen right now, go follow me on Twitter, and I'm out. Peace.